the essence of the idea for Iotics is that there has been a big problem in the world. And the big problem in the world is that there's all sorts of stuff that can communicate and send data and into, work by providing information into back office systems so they can be controlled and managed and all that kind of stuff. And that's all very lovely. And there's millions of things connected that do that every day. The difficult bit is that it's hard to enable those things to share data with each other, especially if they're owned and operated or managed by a different company. And the reason that we're nervous of that is, and this is kind of, I guess, relevant in a time of a pandemic, is that every piece of equipment or service is frightened of catching a cold from somebody else. They're frightened of being infected by either being open and able to exchange things with each other, or they're nervous that somehow or another their information will be taken and used for a wrong purpose. And so it's not surprising that these systems have come into place, because there's been some things that have gone awfully wrong with it. So the challenge we had with the whole idea here was, how can we make it so that any source of data can share its data with something else, and something else that wants that data can find the thing that it wants to get data from and interact with it. How have we made this possible? I can give you a really simple illustration right now, because right now all of us are scared about meeting each other, yet we all want to interact. So how do we do that without fear of getting a virus from each other? Well, we're doing it right now because we're talking to each other on Zoom. I don't actually see you. What I see is a version of you. I see a sanitized, safe version of you. I'm seeing like a little twin of you on the screen at the other end. And your little twin is actually interacting with my little twin at my end, that's actually giving me this picture of you that I'm receiving, that's the twin of you at my end. And we're doing that at the same time. That's quite cool. Because what's happening is that it's not you and me actually directly interacting, it's our twins. And our twins are communicating with the real versions of us. So the real versions of us are never exposed, because it's only the twins that are interacting. Hurrah! That solves one big bit of the data interaction problem. That's essentially what we do in Iotic space for the data. But there's some other issues associated with that, because I may never have met Joe, and I don't really know what he looks like. So I've got to better find him in the first place. So wouldn't it be great if outside that interaction, there was something where we could exchange connections with each other, find each other, have a little relationship that said, would I be willing to talk to him? And would he be willing to talk to me? And is that okay? Well, you need a little kind of broker, a kind of dating agency to set that up. The kind of where you can kind of do some window shopping and think, I might like to connect with them. And then you can set it up. Well, we provide that as well. So before anything can interact with anything, what we do is we've created a kind of directory of stuff by giving details of what's known as their metadata, who they are, their very essence. In actual fact, we've created a little kind of twin of them as a representation in metadata land that is a virtual version of it that you can search for and find. And the other one that's needing to do the search also has a kind of twin of themselves that is actually richer than the original, that actually does the search. So when that search has happened and you say, hey, we think we like each other, that we're interesting, then actually that relationship can now be established. And so that's established by these two virtual versions, again, of the twins of their metadata. So again, they're kept safe, the relationship is established, but now they know they can interact because they said they can trust each other. You know, it might be that, you know, you want to connect with me and you say, no, I'm not going to talk to him. That's fine. You can do that. But if you say, yes, I will talk to him, then you can say, great. Now we'll agree to set up the Zoom call to actually interact. Hurrah. We've now got a system that works. And by the way, the other thing that's really great about Zoom is it isn't just restricted to you and me. We can invite somebody else to join us, and we can have 3 or 4 of us on the call. In fact, we can create a little ecosystem that can all exchange different data with each other and interact. Even if we're from separate businesses, doing separate things in separate organizations, we all interact. And we know that those relationships have all been brokered beforehand. But effectively, we've enabled that to happen for stuff, for anything. So you can have big corporate databases, you can have AI engines, you can have analysis machines, you can have sensors in the street, you can have people reading something on Kindle, and I've underlined this, look, here it is. You can have a toy, you can have somebody's asthma inhaler connecting and relating to an air quality meter, and all the time they're protected so that the relationships are securely set up beforehand and the interactions are happening in a dynamic and interoperable way between things that are completely different, but they can all now share with each other.